Like, which one is this? Is this Dragon Ridge? No, right? Is it Dragon Ridge? Is it Dragon Ridge? This is an old version of Dragon Ridge? Man, dude, honestly, people love this map, but I swear to God, Dragon Ridge was a giant pile of garbage. Like, honestly. From what I remember, dude, you were able to like shoot each other basically coming out of spawn. These plateaus were all useless. These plateaus were useless. These plateaus were useless. These plateaus were useless. There was this like choke. There was this chokehold on the one line that allowed you to do absolutely nothing. And I remember that most of the map was actually useless, if I'm recalling it well. Like all of this part in the map here and all of this part in the map here, this was all useless. It was like majority of the map just wasn't playable, to be honest, from what I remember. I don't even remember how old this map is, but like it was very, in my opinion, very, very bad. I mean, people, for some reason, people really miss this map, dude. Like, they really, really miss this map. I don't know why, dude. Like, yeah, in the rice fields, you could only go down and not up. So you just had like a really, 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 really small part of the map that was actually playable, to be honest. Like, it was such a small map in terms of playable area. I don't know. I really think that this was, in essence, a bad map. To be honest. We can talk about it more later, but for now, C tier map, dude. I mean, this is just Prokhorovka on fire. I don't need to say much about all of the variants. Like, all of the variants of the maps, like Rurenberg, like Winterberg, Fiery Salient, or whatever it was called, and Winter Himmels. Bring it back. Bring it back, dude. Bring it back. Straight up. It was so... I mean, it's the same map, but like a change of scenery was so cool. I'm so sad that when it went to 1.0, we got rid of alternative versions of the same map but different weather. I feel like that's honestly like a quality loss that we had in the game. Because they didn't convert them. Like, they didn't convert them with 1.0. And honestly, I think that's I personally think that was a mistake. That was the thing that was a mistake not to do it, because those maps were, and even Rurenberg on fire, like all of those, like different versions, different weather, amazing. We should just have kept those. They should have just converted them after 1.0 or converted them at a later point. They were such good things, IMO. At least in my opinion. Like having the different versions of the same map was really, really cool. Especially when it's like in winter format. I don't know. In my opinion. At least. We should delete this row. Like, I would bring every single one of those back instantly. Just because it feels different even though it's the same. And they look really nice. At least if you're asking me. Oh, wait, which one is this again? This is Hidden Village, yeah? Honestly, I liked Hidden Village. Like, I actually liked Hidden Village. I mean, arguably the city was a little bit too underutilized, but that was more of a player issue than anything else. The biggest issue, I mean, the fight here was fine, IMO. Like, the fight here was usually fine. The biggest issue with this map is like all of this area. Like, there's so much of this map that is actually not playable, and then 80% of both teams went towards this area and fought over the rocks. Yeah, which was fine, to be honest. I mean, I already had a great time on this map. I think the biggest issue was that this is all lower ground, or was all lower ground, which means that if they win this part, you just shoot down onto the city completely and the whole time, right? All of the buildings were indeed destructible, so you could always destroy all of them. But this was actually a fine map, to be honest. Like, from what I remember, this was a fine map. I mean, I feel like this map could have been fixed by expanding on the JK line. And by adding an alternative winding road or whatever. Like something that ends up coming behind the people. Right? Because you have technically every map follows the every map in essence kind of follows the same layout, even though it doesn't look that way. They all have technically the same layout. It's a corridor, but this only has 2 corridors technically, where one is like overutilized. Could be fixed by, you know, carving a road, but not getting to the elevated part, just lowering, like cutting the mountain, so you have like a flanking road behind people. Doing tunnels would be too hard because they would be too big. Tunnels with our current camera is not that enjoyable, to be honest. Yeah, I think the biggest issue was that this part was all elevated compared to like this, so everything was about winning this. Could be fixed though. Honestly, I thought this was a fine map. I wouldn't say that this was an amazing map, to be honest, but I would say that it was pretty good, nonetheless. I'm pretty sure this was a pretty fine map. Ah, this one, man. This one. I mean, of course, since the, you know, we have the 2 versions of this map. I don't know if they're both on here. Yeah, we have the 2 versions of this map. And I'm going to already put them. This Kharkov, A tier. This Kharkov, D tier. It's very funny. I mean, it's obviously that we're not going to get it back since the war. I mean, makes sense, right? And I don't need to elaborate too much further on that. I think that everybody can understand that. But this version of this map was so bad, dude. It's actually crazy. This was such a disgusting map near the end. Like, this area, already galore. Bunch of TDs sitting on the stupid hill. Bunch of TDs sitting here. Bunch of TDs sitting here. Can't push out of this because you got shot by the balcony. Can't push out of this because you got shot at the balcony. Useless. Useless. People just sitting in windows across from each other. Bah! Bah! What a terrible map from a gameplay aspect. Like, what a terrible map. Like, I swear to God, for me, this map was I mean, it was fine, but at the same time, it was 100% trash. Like, I don't know, man. This was just terrible. Actually terrible. I don't know. This version was terrible, and I think that comes partially down to the fact because this version was so good. It was so good that it was too good. From what I remember, the reasoning to remove this version of the map was that there was too many avenues of attack. So the random player could not understand because this map did not have 3 corridors. You could play this, you could play even this, you could play this, you could play this, you could play this, you could play this, but every single one of the lanes could transition into another lane. Like, every lane could transition into the other. There was no way that you never got stuck anywhere. You could always go somewhere else. And random players could not understand that for the life of them. They also ended up getting there's too many flanking possibilities. Which for the average random player is not fun because he doesn't understand that he's constantly getting flanked. But this version of the map, amazing. Amazing version of the map. You could always do something. There was always something to do. There was always something to play. And if you got bogged down, there was an option. This was a goated version of this map. But this version was actually incredible. I remember playing every single part of this map, dude. Playing here because there was some sandbags, like fortifications here, if I remember well. We also had like holes, so like craters that you could play in. There was a fountain here even, I think, at some point. I think there was a broken fountain here as well. So you were able to like take over this side, play through the hull downs, play through every single lane, flank out, flank people, like push through and flank behind them. What a great map. What a great map. Sadly, there was too many possibilities. So people couldn't handle all the possibilities. Christian, thank you for subbing for 6 months in advance. Thank you, mister. Appreciate that. Thank you. There was too many options, so their brains got overloaded. No, but this was glorious. This was a very good map, IMO. Very, very good map. Oh, no, dude. This... Okay, listen. This map was terrible in every single iteration of it. This map was fucking terrible. In every single iteration that this map has ever gone through, it was terrible. In every single iteration. At noon, 7 Sun. Every iteration of this map was horrible. There was not a single good thing about this map. This is the only map where in the beginning of time, there were tank traps in the middle, and it was either tier limited or class limited. I think it was only heavy tanks that could destroy the tank traps in the middle. It was either tiers or class. Man, I think it was heavy tanks. So if you were a medium tank of any sort, you would just be waiting at the road in the hopes that one of your heavies would drive over the tank traps so you could actually go into the middle of the map. And this map, on both sides, had the same magical forest like Malinovka did. War is not a lame excuse, Monday. I would also personally not introduce active Warzone maps in the game. I think that's completely fine and understandable. Weight limited? I'm not sure. I thought it was class limited. But this map was terrible. Like, it was actually terrible. You can't do anything. You get shot by the TDs. You get shot by the middle. Introduce maybe, but not delete. Yes, definitely delete. I would have done exactly the same thing as they did if I was in their situation. And I think a lot of people would have done as well. This map is terrible. I don't know why people thought it was Goda, but it was awful. I think it was awful. Ew. Straight ew. Straight ew, dude. Ay. Minsk? Okay, let's be realistic. This version of Minsk was very bad. Like, this version was not good. to be honest. Like, this version was not that good. This position was way too powerful, and those positions were also way better from the south because, you know, this balcony, right? Was way too powerful for it. So this version, very bad IMO. There was not much to do. You couldn't progress through this. You couldn't really push this. You couldn't peek out of this either because of the positions on the other side. Honestly, not a very good map whatsoever. I think we can agree on that. Like, that version of Minsk is honestly D-tier map. Actual D-tier map. However, this version of Minsk, the new one with the dried out river and this reworked area here, and this here, and this reworked area here, was honestly pretty good. Like, this version of the map was honestly a lot better than the other one. I wouldn't say very good, but pretty good, honestly. This was at that point not a bad map anymore. No. We talk about the new version first, Fluffy Dude, and then the OG one. I don't think you got spanked by TDs too much on this map whatsoever, honestly. I really didn't find it that much of an issue. Like, honestly, this map is very playable for everybody. Lights could play, TDs could play, heavies could play, mediums could play. I think anybody could play. The only really dumb position was this here. Nah, this was not that powerful, to be honest. In my opinion. Not really. This was the most powerful position. Because you could double bush and shoot anybody trying to cross over. Like, this was the dumbest position on the map. Everything else was honestly fine. I think Minsk new B. Because it doesn't compare to... Actually, let's do it this way. I mean, this is a low tier map. That doesn't count, though. There's not much to say about it. Mittengein, I mean, where do you put Mittengein, Nate? This was a low tier enjoyer map. Where do you put this? Top tier, amazing. It was fun for what it was. I think we put this straight into this. I think we put it into fun but unbalanced. Because of the fact that you could spot everybody from the beginning. Oh no, controversial opinions coming up, guys. Controversial opinions coming up. This map is terrible. There is nothing that you can tell me about this map that is going to make it better. This map was huge, but terrible. It was so big, but so bad. Actually terrible. From a gameplay perspective, absolutely terrible. For real, man. It was so big, and it had so much useless area that nobody fought over, and mainly coming down to because this area exists and this area exists. Like these two areas draw all the players. This was useless space. This was useless space. Like all of this was useless space that wasn't utilized. And these positions were much better. This was a terrible map, man. If you went south with a heavy, you could just be driving the whole game to reach their base and never meet anybody. North was super much better than south on this map. Because North had way better positions here. Way better. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. But the biggest, this map was from what I remember, this map was very big. But I don't think I ever remembered playing anything else but north most of the time. Because every time you didn't go north, you just ended up driving for the whole game and doing nothing. Yeah, I think there were camp spots at the base. So even after your long journey and your heavy tank through the entire south where you don't meet anybody, you just end up getting shit on by the TDs. I honestly, this was a poo-poo. This map was not it. I'm sorry. It's going to go into the EU tier. It's going to go into the EU tier because I thought it was an EU map. Every map shouldn't be like each other, Dakillzor. I think that's a completely like unrelated comment altogether. I'm not sure what you mean with that. A map can be different, sure, but that doesn't mean that it's good gameplay on it. If we did, then this would never be here. You know what? I liked port. I actually liked port. I don't know why, but I actually liked port. Although I think it was incredibly unbalanced. I think sound had a massive advantage. Like, from what I remember, one side had an extreme advantage over the other. And I think it was south. But I actually liked port. I can't remember too much gameplay on it though. I don't even remember much gameplay on this map. I just remember from time to time some specimen driving across the bridge and dying. Although I can't really recall any like real gameplay on this map. Just that it was imbalanced. It doesn't really spark any like memories. Does that make sense? You know what? Listen, we're gonna put this into fun but unbalanced because I thought it was fun. And that's all what matters here. Alright. More controversial opinions incoming. Sacred Valley, dude. Extremely fun. Because you could climb on this hill and wait for everybody to die and win the game. Outside of that, extremely unbalanced. Like, extremely unbalanced. Horrible map outside of that. The only good thing about this map was climbing. Like, the only really good thing about this map was climbing. That's about it. Like, outside of climbing on every hill known to mankind, no. Like, I remember you could boost in any tank. Like, you could climb on this. It wasn't that hard because it was like a little slide. I think you could drive up it in a mouse. Climbing it with a type 5? I'm not sure. I think I climbed it with anything. Might have played this map instead of many maps in current pool? I wouldn't. Because there's again too much unusable area on it. This is not a 3-way corridor map. This is a 2-way corridor map. There was from what I remember, there was a position here that allowed you to shoot them crossing as well. Like you could go here. I think it was here. And you could shoot them crossing over. So you just farm them for free. So you ended up, I think North was like the way more powerful side because of access over this and access over this, where you could go here and just shoot on them some crossing on top of like every hill being climbable, of course, right? I'm pretty sure that I boosted with ID on this hill as well. Like, I'm pretty sure about I boosted with an ID up there to elevate my angles. I have some memories. Maybe a CGC even. I'm not sure. To increase the elevation. Climbing was extremely fun, but extremely unbalanced though. Like, climbing was so fun, but so unbalanced at the same time. If you were to balance maps around climbing, it would be very, very hard. Like, while I understand climbing was really fun, really imbalanced though. It was very unbalanced. I mean, because of the climbs, this goes to fun but unbalanced. Aye. I'm about to shit on every single one of your dreams, dude. Sverogorsk, disgusting. Disgusting. Straight into D tier, by the way. Like straight. This was such a bad map. Like holy. This was such a bad map, dude. The ridges just owned anything that was speaking from either side. You cannot drive through mid because the ridges. Like, the ridges just owned everything. It was just like sniper galore. Every angle was being shit on by snipers. It was terrible. It's the map at Storm Tiger and Garage. I don't remember that. I just remember that this map was very, very bad. Not a single positive memory to this map. Because it was just Sniper City. Every angle. Every single angle. Terrible. I'm sorry. It was terrible. It really, 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 really was terrible. There's no fixing this map because of the two elevations. The two elevations will always control. Like, you can just, like, remove the whole map because the two elevations always control everything, making this entire part, like, unplayable. This river, you could drive down the river and do absolutely nothing because if you peek out, you still get shot. So the river was mostly useless territory. Like, you couldn't do anything from the river. It was no, straight D tier, guys. Oh my god, more dreams being ruined. South Coast, horrible, horrible. This map is like the highlight of design, where one side is always winning because the north side is just so much better. Like, the north side on this map was the best. Better access to the city on 9-0 line. Better access to the middle. Better access to this city. Massive TD positions and sniping positions. After Lyriker was better, but still incredibly unbalanced. The camp was insane. Yeah, North Base had everything. Like, they had everything. Because from south, you had to drive way longer to reach the middle. There's not much to say about this. Like, this base had all the positions. No, these maps were just never converted to HD save. So what's, like, you cannot have it. They were never converted to the new graphics. Honestly, it's just D tier. You know, this belongs here and this belongs here in this order. Like this. Yeah, way better. Oh, you know what? Stalingrad. Amazing. Amazing map. What an amazing map this was. It again didn't work because it broke the design of it broke the design of three-way corridor. Right? It broke that design altogether. Enskin gray color, absolutely untrue. This was playable, 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 this was playable. Even the beach was playable. This again went against yeah, keep dreaming positive. This map again went against the classical three-way corridor design, which is really hard to understand for most players. Couldn't play lights. Can't play lights on mode map. I really, really liked this map, actually. I really, really like this map. It's going here into bring back. Time to really ruin everybody's dreams. Alright, guys. I hate to break it to you, but Swamp was a horrendous map, dude. Keep telling yourself that Swamp was a good map. Whatever you need to sleep at night, but Swamp was terrible. Alright. I don't care what any of you says. This was such a horrible map. The fact that they're actually bringing it back is crazy. It's actually crazy. Although they're bringing back a different version of Swamp. It's not it's not really the same anymore. Like they completely changed it. But like north side was so much better. You had the better positions here, better access to the middle. You could even challenge 1-2 line if you wanted to, but if you didn't, you still had the safe positions. You could climb on this. You could go here and shut them from down from ever climbing. You had better access to this. You always put the south team in a chokehold. This was a horrible map. Like actual horrible map. Very, very unfun experience from the south. Because you're a heavy tank lover? No, this map was actually very good for heavy tanks. Because from north in a heavy, you could drive here, shoot them crossing. You could drive here, fight this. You could drive down the middle even if you wanted to and take their ridges and then start owning them. Like... This was a great heavy map. Links, thank you for re7. Appreciate that. Thank you. No, this was a great map from north. Like, I honestly thought this was a very bad map because of how much better than north was every single time. I don't know. We'll see what the new version that they're bringing back is. It's a completely different version than this one, though. And I don't understand for the life of me why people are so nostalgic about this one in particular. I don't know why this one in particular. I thought it was terrible. I mean, this is older version, sure, but even the newer version was terrible. I don't know. I'm sorry. This was a terrible map. C. C. Let's put it in C. It's not quite as bad as these three. C. Last but not least, dude. Last but not least. What a terrible map. What a terrible, 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 terrible map, dude. Holy. How bad, dude. Delusion. Nah, bro. Nah. What a horrible, horrible, horrible map, dude. What a disgusting map. The only good thing about this map is climbing on top of the hill, dude. Nah. Nah. You guys are crazy. Whoever took control over the south, and it was always better from west, whoever took control over this Huldan area was always dominating. Like, whoever took control over this was always in a superior position. You just didn't know how to play it and you're mad. Has when this map was in the game, you were like a green shitter, buddy. I mean, you're still a green shitter, but I was already like blue leaning towards purple. All right, so let's not, you know. Yeah. I was orange, yeah, not surprised. So let's, you know, let's chill, dude. No, I'm sorry. This map was terrible. Because it was way too easy to dominate with certain tanks. Like, if you won this part of the map, you winning the whole game. You winning the whole game, dude. I understand that it's fun to drive here in a hold on tank and then just farm them the whole time, but that is not a, you know, that's not a good thing. The only good thing was climbing this hill. That was it. Especially because I think from in the north there was not much gameplay to be done with the camping position in the back. There's a lot of counters of someone going hold on. Really? Was there? But from my experience, there was not really many. You could push across and go to the lower side, but that usually means you just get repushed and die. I mean, what's up, expert? I wouldn't say it's like absolutely terrible, but like this. Like this. Like this. That's how I would say is my final ranking.